Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome to Wheel Life Problems, brought to you by Wheelchair Gamer. I'm Ricky, that's Wheels, and that's
What up?
Glitched.
Hello. How goes it, world?
All I can see is your back glitched.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm nosing in to read something.
Yeah, he's getting right up in there.
There's that little
Yeah.
toady face.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
know,
it looks like he's kind of just like eating into
angle
me.
that a little bit this way. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That way, whenever I'm getting up here to read something.
Yep.
So we can all watch you rub your face against the monitor.
Yeah.
Hey,
This is how I read. I mean,
hey,
what can
hey,
I
that,
say?
hey, that could be content for OnlyFans, right?
It's quality content.
It's
There
quality
you
content. We'll upload it. Someone will sub.
go. How have you guys
Heck
been this
yeah.
week?
I've been okay. I've played a lot of games. Played a lot of Destiny 2 this week, which is a game I didn't think I would ever get back into, but yeah, people in my clan play it, so I wanted to play with them. So everybody's pretty much playing that, so I was like, the hell of it, I'll play that game. So
It's
been
like a
doing
game
that.
that would be fun.
What was that?
I said that games looks like it would be fun.
Yeah, I mean it's an MMO, an FPS, like so it's kind of cool from that aspect. I mean, I like shooting things. I like making them dead, and you can do that in that game. So you
So simplistic.
know. Well,
I
I mean,
know,
I like
right?
stories in games too, though. I mean, I definitely
Just like
do.
I like making things dead.
Yeah.
Sweet. What about you, glitched?
Mining, crafting, playing with pressure, blowing stuff up.
Making things dead like Bill?
Yeah.
Wheels?
Yeah.
Killing Earth or killing biomes with pickaxes.
Uh, no, actually, I haven't used a single pickaxe all week long.
Oh,
Hmm.
just went
That's the
straight for the
power of
Wowzers.
modded.
just went straight for the explosives.
No, actually, I had a spell book before today, and now I've got an air-powered jackhammer that does all my mining for me. Screw the pick.
Mm,
Don't need it.
jackhammer. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then
Jackhammer.
what about you, Ricky? What did you get into?
Oh, nothing much at all. Just the regular old shit, you know. Nothing too exciting.
Right.
Except I did get Korean barbecue recently.
Really? Was it done in the way where you go there and you make the stuff, or
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
how
Treated
is that
myself.
how is that with COVID though? Like how does like what's that look like?
Servers wearing masks. You wear a mask up to the table, then eat your food. I mean, I felt I felt all right. They had like a plastic saran wrap in between tables and stuff
Do you feel like
to
people
help
were
keep more of like a
spaced?
distance thing.
Do you feel like people were
Huh?
spaced out well?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
You
Yeah.
didn't
So
you didn't feel like uncomfortable, like, oh, I might get this.
no, not too much. So
Well, what were
that's
your
my
thoughts
splurge.
on it?
Huh?
What were your thoughts on the experience? Like, what did you like it all, or was anything you
Oh,
didn't
it's fucking
like?
delicious.
Yeah, I mean it is. Like you just throw it
It's
on
just a
there.
shit ton. Like it fucking kills your stomach afterwards, but it's delicious.
Which one did you go to? What was it called?
Meat Project.
Okay, because the one that I went to was out in Manassas, like down in like Gainesville. I'm trying to think of what it was, but it was so
Wait, what?
fucking.
You just said two locations. You're like the one I went to is in Manassas and
Well,
in
whatever,
Gainesville.
relative. It's in that Manassas Gainesville area because that's like you could be in Manassas and then you can be in Gainesville like really quickly. It's kind of like
You
it
can
was
say that
somewhere,
about any two like
but it was
bordering
somewhere
towns.
between there. It was between 28 and somewhere in Gainesville. Like it was close to that vicinity. It was like, but I don't remember if it was 28 or if it was Gainesville, but I know that it was like close to that. It's like in that general vicinity. I don't know what it's called. I can't think of the fucking name. But it was. It had a bunch of K-pop in there going, and
Was it Iron Age?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's in Centerville, man.
Okay, then
You are
it's in Centerville.
way off. Yeah, that's neither Manassas or Gainesville. You are just totally off.
Hey, 28 was right. 28 is that's
no, it's off 29.
Well, that's a frame of reference. 28. Okay, so if you can get to Centerville on 28 though, dude. Like, don't you know that? Like, you.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah. You're 29
right,
is Gaines. Like, that would be. Well, that'd actually be more accurate to being like closer to Gainesville, to be honest with you. If we're
I'll give you that.
And
then
that leads more to Fairfax, though, right? Like 29 eventually leads to Fairfax, right? I know 28
it goes
does
towards
too.
Fairfax, yeah.
And I know 28 does. I think they're just at different directions. I don't know. I'm bad with like that type of stuff. Like, I know where places are. I know how to get to them. I'm really good about that. But yeah.
Do you know where places are?
I didn't know where that place was.
You just said Gainesville and Manassas at first.
Yeah, whatever. It's all Manassas. Whatever.
Here's your serving of shit that I'm giving you.
Anyway, so what the fuck was this episode about? Anyways, something was it about like some like porn or something?
Let's get on to the topic of the day. Today we are talking about OnlyFans. What about OnlyFans do you want to learn about today, Bill? Wheels.
Well, first off, if anybody doesn't know what OnlyFans is, it's a pornographic site that you can. Well, I think that might be summing it up a little bit much, because it's not just porn, but that's the that's the main attraction, if you will. I don't think people are going there.
It's not just porn. I did my research on the topic.
There are musicians.
Today.
There are musicians on there.
Indeed.
I've seen that.
But actually, what I'm learning what it's big on is with chefs too.
Really?
Chefs and what's it called? Fitness instructors.
Really? And the chef's not getting naked, and the fitness instructor's not getting naked either, right?
Well, I don't know. I haven't subscribed to any chefs or fitness instructors.
But I think I'm just saying that kind of as a joke, because I think it's probably not everything is mixed with the porn part of this.
Yeah. Well, to give people a rundown of what OnlyFans is it's a paid subscription social media site that launched in 2016, and you can pay. Content creators can set their monthly subscription to either $4.99 to anywhere to $49.99 each month, and OnlyFans takes a 20% fee on any money that's made by a content creator, and it works off tips. And you can also have a free OnlyFans as well too, which people will then have. They can still make money off free OnlyFans by having pay-per-view content.
Okay. Glitch, I was going to ask you something. When it comes to Twitch, what's the percentage that they take again from us? I'm trying to remember.
50-50 at affiliate status. It's a 50-50 split.
Wow. Okay, so at affiliate status, like, I guess OnlyFans is really, people really aren't like losing much if they're only taking 20% of what they make, right? I mean,
no, not really. The only difference is OnlyFans is mostly pre-recorded, pre-written, pre-taken, pre-done up, whatever in advance. I don't know if they have any live platform yet.
Is the pay-per-view thing, is that a live event thing? Did you find out, Ricky?
No, pay-per-view just means like let's say I'm on Instagram, right? Let's use Instagram as a common comparison. Let's say I put a post on Instagram and you're following me for free. what happens is I'll put this post on there, and it'll have, like, a screen that says, "To view this, buy this content for yada yada such amount, $5, $50," and but they can still add put, like, free viewing for anyone and stuff, but, yeah, they can make a post be like, "Hey, if you tip me this amount of money, you'll be able to see this post."
Right, and I think that's another thing that I've heard about OnlyFans is that there's like a structure where there's like a tipping type structure where it's like if you do this, I'll do this sort of thing. Like they have something like that where it's like
Yeah, there's am I the only one that did the research today? So,
well,
basically
I mean, I'm I've seen a lot over Twitter and I've seen like what it's used and I don't know. There's other questions about it that I want to go into, but I'm going to let you continue because I want to get into that later.
alright,
Uh,
well, okay, so, basically, um alright, what was your yes, there's a tipping structure. So, basically, someone can post something, say I post a picture or a video or something on that, someone can like your post, and also, if they want, they can give you a tip, and that's separate from the pay-per-view content. So, every post can be tipped a certain dollar amount, but, pay-per-views content, can vary from price to price.
right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've seen that there's a lot of people that do it. It seems like there's a lot of streamers on Twitch that do it. And a lot of what it ends up being is that I've noticed that it's a lot of the females on Twitch, and it's of the pornographic nature in most cases, or
Oh,
lewd
yeah, well, I mean,
content.
most of its viewership is from the sex worker industry.
Right. And I mean, it's changed that industry from what I know. It's definitely changed the way that the landscape of that. But I mean, let's face it, the internet. I mean, maybe we
It's
shouldn't.
not it's not just that industry though. Would you
Yeah.
believe it if I told you that there are people on that site that don't show anything whatsoever and people pay them for intimacy?
Mhm. Yeah,
That doesn't surprise me.
yeah, so there's a chat feature on there that you can pay, and then some people will charge for chatting and stuff.
And that's like a messenger, like you would get the private DMs on Twitter. Just it's being at a cost.
Right. I mean, there's free messaging and there's paid messaging, so
Right.
it's a subscription-based social media website, and,
Right.
yeah, and it gained popularity, especially during the pandemic, where I was roughly at one point, it was garnering about 200,000 users per day.
Holy shit. And I think there was some. I remember there being some chick that made like $2 million on there.
That was Bella Thorne, and she
Yep.
created a bunch of controversy
Yeah.
about it because and actually after that, OnlyFans had to change their pay structure because of that, because they, ugh, I didn't put this in my notes, like, but, while I was reading about it, they said they had to change their structure because she basically so OnlyFans creators used to get paid, I guess, what was it, immediately, from their tips and subscription services, but now they are paid every 21 days of what they've earned with the OnlyFans 20% cut. And also, they have
Oh,
a
it was
referral
$81
status.
million.
Huh?
No, it was 1 million. Never mind. Continue. Continue. That was stupid. I read an 8 as a dollar sign. Anyways, go continue.
Yeah, so basically, um, als so yeah, they get paid every 21 days
Hmm.
from what money they've garnered, and also there's also referrals, they can do where they get 5% of another person's wages for a whole year, which used to be a lifetime thing, almost like a pyramid scheme type thing. And I guess people were upset that it went to, um, 5% for only a year.
Okay, so it says earlier this month, Bitch I'm. Well, why does it say Bitch I'm? I don't know, but it says Bella Thorne. I guess that's her name on there, Bitch I'm or something. And she joined OnlyFans. She earned $1 million in a single day and set a record for the subscription based social media platform. Social media, well, it talks about how it's like on other platforms it would be considered NSW and it would be a violation of their TOS. Hence, Twitch is an example of that. You can't show titties here. I'm sorry, guys, we can't show Ricky's titties. I'm sorry, but we can't. Um, as much as we want to see them. So let's see here. Yeah, so that's pretty much what happened, and I guess that I'm trying to figure. All right, then it goes on to say why people got mad. So Thorne joined OnlyFans, set her price
Yeah,
at
because
$20. You know,
she took everything away from the sex workers that they weren't able to get paid at all. There was
right?
a huge gap. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, anyways,
if you'd
um,
done your research, you would have known.
well, no, this is a lot of stuff
Mm-hmm.
that I just heard of that popped up, and it was just I'm going based on a lot on that, guys. And I'm not trying to sound like I don't care about this. I do, but I have an opinion that's more about. Well, I have a lot of viewpoints on it because I see it all the time as a content creator all over the place, being advertised and talked about, and I just I don't know. To me, like like there's a whole thing about all this stuff. Like there's a lot of people that think that it's like almost like taking advantage of people, but it's just like I mean they've had strip clubs for a very long time. I mean, are they really like? Is anybody forcing you to go into one? Is anybody forcing you to go on OnlyFans and pay money? Some people make the argument, I think, that there's like a seduction being done that's unfair or is almost very targeting of a certain group of men. Um, I don't know. I mean, I've heard this before. I don't
Oh,
know if
yeah,
I'm
it is
necessarily.
targeted.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely targeted. And there's definitely
It's
stuff.
it's sex workers targeting an audience trying to get money from them, which is exactly there's no
Yeah.
that's completely transparent.
Right. Right. Exactly. And I mean, I think it's advertising. Um, but from the angle of but what did you find out more about the non-pornographic side to this? Like, is that a prevalent thing at all, or not really?
I mean, yeah, it's on there, and but it's just not as big as sex workers are. But you can go on there and see that a lot of people will highlight it, like people like chefs and fitness workers. They go there just to hopefully get tips. They'll you know a cooking person could probably give you some instructional video or something, and then you tip the person. They're just hoping to get their content out there while also make some money off of it. It's
Mm-hmm.
just same way as sex workers. It's just not as I don't know the exact numbers about like what percentage is sex workers, what percentage is other people, but
Yeah.
um, it's the same. They're just hoping to get support for their crafts.
Yeah. Now, do you think that I don't know. What are your thoughts on OnlyFans in terms of like it being used for sex work?
I got no quarrels with it. I think it's a great idea. If people want to show themselves and do stuff for money and they're not hurting anyone, why not?
Yeah, I mean it
I
doesn't.
was even I even looked up how big the disability community is in OnlyFans, and there's a big disability portion of people on OnlyFans too. I saw
In the
or
porn
what now I
industry?
didn't huh?
In the porn industry?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that.
I know. I know personally a individual, a female who is one armed. I do believe. I forget exactly what went
Hmm.
down, but she only has one usable arm.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, that's
She does videos online video.
A quick
hmm.
a quick Google search of disabled OnlyFans, you'll come across just like a shit ton of users. Now, you can't I couldn't see any of them because then you have to pay for everything, but there was a lot of users on there. There was like Gimp Girl or something, and I remember there was on Reddit, I remember, which is why I got the idea to search disabled on OnlyFans, was there was this girl who did an AMA on Reddit who was talking, or it wasn't AMA, but she made a post that she was a wheelchair user, sex worker,
Right.
and she was on OnlyFans.
Hmm.
I mean,
Interesting.
that seems to be just where people of that nature, creators of that nature, go because of their more lax terms and conditions, which
Now,
makes sense.
now the other thing that I'm wondering is this is a question that kind of could be asked about. It doesn't even necessarily have to be about OnlyFans, but do you think that there's more creators that are doing the sex work content because they actually want to, or because it is just they get a lot of money from it, or do you think it could be considered art? Is porn considered art ever? I don't
I
necessarily think so.
I think it can be,
But
but in
on
most cases, it isn't.
Like, do you think there's a market for it where it's actually art on there, or do you think it's more just people getting fucked and then that's like they want to show this and then they want to get their
Oh,
money?
it depend. It's all depends, you know. It's
Hmm.
all categorical. Some porn can be art, and I
Well,
don't know. Some can't.
maybe they're
It all
messed up in the
depends.
head.
It's
I
it's like
mean,
smut porn.
I mean, as an example of some that some could consider an art form, look at more on the imagery side, right?
maybe like body
I
painting.
know body painting, tattoo artistry, those could fall into the areas where it might be sexually suggestive and somewhat pornographic, but it isn't porn. It is art in and of its own right
Yeah, I mean, like
because people are
look
paying more attention to the painting and the artistry
Right.
than the naked body.
and look up look at pinup art or burlesque.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's seen as an art form,
you don't
and
have
a lot of the people
Amazon.
are on.
He's talking about the Prime, I think. Yeah, you're talking about the Prime membership. Yeah, I don't know if they're messed up in the head, but I think I have heard like things about like before when it comes to people that are in sex work, a lot of them do have somewhat abusive past, but I don't know if that's always true. I don't know if that's a generalization. I know it does happen though, because I remember watching a documentary. I forget what it was, but it had something to do with just being a porn star, basically being a sex worker, and the fact that there's a lot of like drug use a lot of times. It's not always the case, and there's a lot of abuse a lot of times. But I don't want to make that generalization and say that there's a bunch of abused women that have daddy issues that now decided to do porn because I think that's a big generalization. I think that's a super generalization, and I think it'd be unfair to say that it one uh, that sort of um, stereotype, or maybe not stereotype. Maybe it's not even a stereotype, but I mean, well, I think some people have that image in their head that they think that oh well, if they're a porn star, they're probably they probably think they're really nasty or something. But I don't know. I think it's relative. I mean, every human being is sexual on some level. I mean, does that make you bad necessarily for having those feelings? I don't think so. I mean, I think it's kind of a human thing.
Well, I mean, most of them they
Yeah.
use it as a means of employment. You know, a means to make money, and
But do you think it's
why
because they
not? You
felt
know.
there was no other means to make you know um to make money? I mean, do you think there's a lure to that, to where it's just
Oh,
the
yeah, of course,
money?
there's gonna be that for any industry when
That's true.
you think of, but I mean, some people just enjoy sex and sex work for the hell of it, you know, just because they
Right.
enjoy it, and some people want to make money off of it. If they if they're good at something, why not? Why make money? You know, people can identify themselves and realize that they have a talent in a certain, I guess, taboo category,
Right.
but some people do it because they like it.
Yeah. Now the other thing is that what do you like? Do you think people weigh like this heavily when it comes to like what about one's reputation? I mean, that's something I've always kind of thought about. Is like, are you willing to kind of put that on the line for this? Like, and like, what type of repercussions are you getting in 2021 versus like what you may have gotten like? I mean, let's say like 10 years ago, or even 20 years ago. I think there was definitely more of a stigma, and I think you definitely were going to have more. That was going to be more of a heavy effect. At least I feel that way because it seems like when I was younger, I remember it used to seem like anything like, having weird piercings, weird hair, doing anything out of the ordinary when it came to employment, it used to always be a thing that people would say, well, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that because that'll affect your future. But it seems like it's some of these things are becoming less taboo in a way. And
Yeah,
I don't
that's cultural change.
I mean, it seems like
And
OnlyFans
peop
may have had
and
some.
people's with adversity to not adversity, people's apprehension to it slowly changing. That sociologically speaking, that's just called cultural lag.
Right, because
Something happens, and then people slowly kind of just come around to it.
and I do feel like there are a lot more people that are more open to OnlyFans. I don't know. It just seems like as that's kind of started to become a thing, where it's more of like a, it kind of taps into this, um, how it's always like, in other porn industries, it always seemed like there, it was always like, you never really openly knew exactly like how people produce the stuff. But now there's no great mystery. Like, I mean, not that there was a mystery to it. I'm not saying that we didn't know like who was behind the camera, but a lot of times like you don't really know about any of these groups that develop porn, and like a lot of them seem shady, and it makes you wonder if like something illegal was going on. And I don't know, it just seems like a lot of the other porn stuff is like, I don't know, it's a little shady, I guess. And it just seems like OnlyFans kind of makes it seem a little less shady because it's happening in someone's own house type deal, if that makes sense, as opposed to some weird
It
like
doesn't.
porn producer place. I don't know. I don't know. Do you get what I'm getting at there?
Not
I
really.
see what you're saying.
Like that creepy like get on the you get on the couch in a random place like somewhere. It's like I don't know. There's like just something shady about it, I guess, versus like someone making it in their home. I guess I don't know.
But that's production. That's the story they're selling you.
My
Yeah,
apologies.
I know
My
that,
mom
but I
is.
don't think I'm really explaining that well. I don't think I'm really explaining like what I'm trying to convey very well.
I was about to say my apologies if anything gets picked up in the background. My nephews, my niece and
Right.
nephew, are here because, well,
Um.
they're visiting mom, and mom is yelling at them. So
Yeah, I don't
if you
know.
hear any of that, I apologize.
Okay, it's fine. But I'm trying to like think of like how I'm saying this. I just feel like it seems a little bit more. Oh, some of the porn just seems a little bit more like questionable or something. I don't know. It's shady. It comes off shady to me, I guess. I don't know.
Like what's shady to you though?
I don't know. It just seems like it might. I don't know. It just seems like there. I guess there's an extra element of danger, maybe, or something. I'm
Are you
not
talking about the
saying.
porn industry or OnlyFans or sex workers?
I'm talking about the industry. I'm talking about the difference between some sick ass producer that's, getting girls and clearly abusing them or something versus like the fact that OnlyFans can make you feel a little bit better because a lot of times these are people in their homes that are doing this on their own. So, that's probably less likely to be happening because I know that's a problem. I know that's a problem in the industry because I saw a documentary about it and they talked about this how there's abuses and there's things like that that happen in the industry as a whole. And I'm just saying
Who's
if
to
you're
say that doesn't happen in OnlyFans too, though? Because there's couple content.
yeah, I mean that could still happen potentially, but I think that having more control and being your own producer, I think I mean, even with the cam girl thing, because before that used to be the big thing. Before OnlyFans was a big thing. The cam girls, they do it at their home. It's usually independent. But I mean, I guess someone could still be forcing them to do this technically if we're really getting into that. But
Well,
I'm just
oddly enough, I think it's My Free Cams owns OnlyFans now.
really okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's where part of the controversy actually comes from, because My Free Cams is known, or was known in the past, to do some not so savory things.
Right, and that's
Like
kind of
what?
what I'm hitting on.
Like what though?
I don't know about them specifically. I didn't know this. I mean, this is information Glitch is giving me.
Yeah, no,
It,
yeah.
it had to deal with the way they did payment structure. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it had something to do with their payment structure.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just think that I don't know. I think with that type of work, I think there can become some unintended consequences with the types of producers and the types of people that are involved. I'm not saying that every person that does porn is bad. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that I think that, unfortunately, things of the sexual nature can be exploited very extremely. But a lot of things can be exploited. But I'm just saying that in particular, it's such an intimate thing that it could, something seemingly innocent could become, you know, something else.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're just going off a lot of speculation.
Yeah, I mean, maybe so, a bit. Maybe some of it's just like questioning things, like wondering what is going on behind closed doors. I mean, maybe that's more of what I'm saying, but I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong.
What do you mean, Sir Head 1021 by who decided to do porn?
Ricky, do you have something to tell us? Um, well, okay. Yeah, well, I'll stop saying stuff that's not funny. And I'll stop laughing at my own jokes. Well, I'll never stop doing that because someone's got to laugh. If I'm not, then.
Okay, would you guys do OnlyFans?
Me, maybe. I might do it as an author, because I do have some book ideas.
Yeah.
Hmm. I thought about doing it with making wholesome content that had suggestive names.
That's a thing people can do.
Like, Bill gets a cream, Wheels gets a cream pie. And it's literally me getting a cream pie smashed in my face. What's her name did that before? I love her. Bella. What's her name? Who am I thinking of? The meme chick that does the like faces. Bella Delphine.
I have no idea who that is.
Do you know who that is, Glitch?
I do, as a matter of fact. She's got quite a lot of controversy surrounding her anyway, for
Yeah,
various other things.
but she's also a fucking troll, like a motherfucker, and I think it's funny. But then she's not now because she actually
Yeah,
went
she
full
had to
on.
clean up. She had to clean up a little bit.
Yeah, because she used to do things like that, like Bella Thorne cream pie, and it was just like her with a cream pie, not like an actual like sexual thing. And she would constantly do this, where it was like building up to something sexual, and then it's something that's not sexual at all.
Mm-hmm.
So she would troll it, but she's done some very controversial things. I don't even know all of them. One of the things that she was a bathwater chick, you know,
Yep.
streamer girl, bathwater type deal. And then she actually spit in a jar one time, gave it to the Ethan on the three what is that podcast called? The three something why can't I think of the fucking name of it? They do all sorts of fucking 303 or something like that. Or
Yeah,
no,
I think I know what podcast
that's
you're
the
talking about.
band H3 podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what it
it.
is. That's what it is. And she spit in his bottle, took a video of it, and then she sent it to him.
What a dick.
Well, she said that she would send it to him. Like it was like a whole thing. Like she wanted to. Like they're friendly. It wasn't something he
Uh,
was into, but yeah, it was a thing. Which I'm trying to digressing here, but I think it's kind of funny idea. You know, if someone were to make wholesome content as opposed to pornographic content on OnlyFans, but I guess that's not that wouldn't be that silly after all because there are non-pornographic forms of OnlyFans. So,
right.
but I think most of it, I think most of us when we hear about it, at least streamers, connected immediately with sex work.
Oh yeah, I
Most
mean that's its biggest market is sex work.
because
So I mean that's
it's almost like Twitch that kind of has this weird connection with them in a way. It's really strange because it's like Twitch isn't that's Twitch's TOS does not match up with anything that OnlyFans is selling. But almost there's such a percentage of like I think if you I'm kind of curious what the percentage of actual Twitch female streamers that do have OnlyFans is. I think it'd be pretty. I think you'd have a pretty interesting number there.
I think it's a fairly moderately high percentage, to be 100% honest with you.
I mean, based on my surveying of just Twitch channels in general, I mean, I don't watch a lot, but I mean, from the small group that I do watch in, it comes up from time to time on people that are rated. I notice sometimes, like, we raid into someone, and then I see that they have an OnlyFans. There's quite a few female streamers that I know of that do it. So I think there's kind of a bit of a connect there.
well yeah, it's cross promotion.
Right. So a lot of times what I think they do there is kind of the teaser because it's like, you show off, you wear some skimpy outfits and stuff. I'm not saying that that's what every woman's doing on Twitch, but I mean, hey, if you got it and you can use it to your advantage, I mean, I guess it's a way to make money. I mean, I don't know if they really should be knocked for that. A lot of people, the argument always has been is that, oh, they're making people too thirsty on Twitch, and that's not fair, and they're turning Twitch into something that we don't want it to be, and there's all these supposed female gamers that aren't really gamers that go on here to basically promote their shit on OnlyFans. Is one of the things that I constantly hear. And I don't know if you hear that glitch, but I definitely hear it around the streaming circles a bit.
Oh, yeah.
But I think what it comes down to is worry about yourself and what you're doing. Don't get caught up on what other streamers are doing.
That's exactly what it comes down to.
Because I think it's a waste of time. Because I think it comes down to you're just mad that if we're getting real here, they're just mad that they're not making money, as much money as they are on Twitch, and they're trying to find a way to, victimize make themselves basically make themselves look like the victim. When it's like, are you really? I don't think so. It comes down to a jealousy thing. This is what I think it is a lot of times. Jealous of the money. And I think people get too caught up on that. In anything, really. I mean. But yeah. I don't know.
Right. So if you think you could get a big enough market, a market of people to see you naked, would you get naked for OnlyFans?
I don't know about that. I don't
Because
think so.
when I was looking up, like some people can make $100 grand a year through OnlyFans.
But are those male or female?
I mean, does it matter?
Well, I mean, don't you think the females are making up a large portion of
No,
the?
I'm saying if you could do it though.
Um, I don't know. I don't know how comfortable I am with that.
Oh, if I could make 100 grand off of showing my naked body, I'd do it in an instant. I
I mean,
wouldn't have a single problem with it. I've got I've got hairy elbows and hairy nipples. I got a catheter sticking out of my ab, and if someone wants to see that, fine, I'll do that. Give me 100 grand. I'll let you look at me naked.
all right, guys. Someone needs to donate 100 grand to Ricky right now. We'll start an OnlyFans for Ricky and see if he can make that much money.
Do
That's a
it.
goal. That should be that could be a podcast goal. Something to strive for. I mean, I don't know.
Glitched.
I don't know about that. It could happen. You might get lucky.
You might get like.
If you knew you were going to be making 100 grand a year off of OnlyFans just by showing your naked body, would you?
I'm gonna be 150% truthful with you. I could probably make that much money from people telling me to put my clothes back on.
But that's not the question, though. Would you, though? Would you do it if this were the
Yeah,
case?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if it's
Easy
100K,
money.
it's 100K.
I ain't got to see to sit in front of a camera naked.
Yeah.
I mean, someone else has to see it. Not
Man,
me.
somebody else has to see, not me.
Yeah.
Well,
Someone wants to get off
that's
on that,
regardless
then
of if you have the clothes on or off. You're good either way.
yeah, if someone wants to get off on that, more power to them,
Mm-hmm.
So you think any stigma that someone gives someone for being part of it?
It's
I'll
their own
nair my
problem.
whole body for 100K
There we go.
on
See?
cam. You heard it here, guys. Pay up.
It's funny what money will do.
It's
Funny
quite.
can help. Enough money can help you overcome a lot of insecurities about your body.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think the one thing that I wonder about is like, a lot some of these people that have kids. I'm like, aren't you kind of worried like if if they come across some of this? But I mean, I guess it'd have to be a sub. But what if they didn't know that it was like their mom? They subbed to it and then.
That's their problem. They just gotta have a They gotta have a sit down and talk. I hope their kids never find it. And if they do, just be like, they gotta own it. Be like, yeah, I fucking showed myself. I mean,
uh,
that's nothing new. That's
that's
porn's the porn industry's had has mothered and fathered children.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's just like yeah. I mean, I actually know someone that does it. Like one of my friends, one of my close friends, his girlfriend does this, and I mean, he was saying that she makes a pretty decent amount of money doing it. He's kind of surprised at like how easy it can be. But yeah, he you know, it's definitely extra money for sure. And I think in a pandemic, I mean, I think you've seen a lot more people go to it because they needed money. So
Well, like I said earlier, the because of the pandemic, OnlyFans saw a 75% increase of new users and 200,000 new people subscribing each day.
it's a lot more whacking off going on.
Hmm.
Um, but I think there's also I think there's always the old debate with porn, like, um, people get involved in the whole moral thing with it. And I guess it depends on the person. I mean, I'm not going to necessarily, I just think that there would be things you'd have to deal with that would just be, I don't know, there'd be certain things that you'd have to be okay with, by making that choice. Like, am I okay if there's, am I okay if potentially other people find out about this, because it's not going to be a secret for long. If you're doing that type of thing, it's not going to really be, it's not something that you can really, you can only keep it under wraps for so long, I think. And if you're willing to live with that, I mean, I guess that's cool. I know some people have the whole angle of like, no, I couldn't do that because of, my Christian belief or something, Just an example. I mean, maybe that's an extreme example, but I know there's some people that would just be so appalled by it. But I don't know. I mean,
And both sides are right.
if it's not right for you, then you shouldn't do it. I'm not necessarily going to sit here and say, if you're thinking of ways to make money and make money quick, you're thinking, oh, I should just get naked and do porn. I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily advise that just because you're focused on the money. But if that's what you want to do, the only reason why I say that is there may be some ramifications that you didn't think about that may affect you mentally or something like that. So, I don't know. I think that's something to be thought about. Because I think it's easy to say that, oh, I would do this, but it's like, what's the reality look like, though? Does that become something that, bothers you? I don't know.
What are you getting at?
I'm just saying that I think that there's ramifications or there's potential things that by doing it, if you only just did it for money and that was the only reason why you did it, and you hadn't, you didn't really want to, you weren't really into it, that would definitely look at that.
Thank you.
I'd like
Food
someone
delivery.
to deliver me food. Jesus.
I know, burgers and fries. It's delicious.
Damn you.
I'm sorry. Like every week we record right around dinner time for me, so
It's bound to happen.
at least once.
But I mean, I don't know if that's. I mean, I think that's true of anything you do, though. I mean, like even with
Definitely.
regular porn.
Any industry you chase for money can leave you feeling empty.
Right, because if that's the only thing that you're getting out of it, I mean, like, there's tons of streamers that I've seen that they got into streaming because they thought, oh, I'm gonna make a bunch of money, and then it's like, 2-3 months in, they're like, oh, I'm not making any money at all, and one person's showing up to my stream. Shit.
Where did all the money I was supposed to be making go?
Yeah, what the fuck? Where's my money?
Yeah, like that, like those one commercials. It's my money and I want it now, but it's not coming.
Structured settlement and I need cash now. J.G. Wentworth 877 cash now. Those commercials, man. There was like a boy band one too, that I saw recently today. I don't know what a structured annuity is, but I do now because of that commercial. Structured annuity. Oh no. They also had like that they had one that was like an opera singer at one point. But anyways, I'm going completely off topic here.
Mm-hmm.
So what other takeaways did you get from this, Ricky?
I mean, not much. It was just like a lot of facts and figures that I'd looked into, and how they just looked at the background of OnlyFans.
Yeah, I noticed that they also have this thing where it's like they'll a lot of the girls will advertise that they're in the top like whatever percent, and it seems like everyone, it's like, is everybody in that top percent? Because it seems like everybody's posting that they are.
Well, I looked for an answer for that, and no, I couldn't find a really good answer about what that is, whether you actually are, whether that percentage is based off of your monthly income or based off your monthly subscribers or anything, and I couldn't find a good number on where that little statistical number comes from.
It'd be interesting to interview one of these people that does this.
Especially someone who's disabled and does it.
That would be really interesting. Just to kind of see maybe like the inner workings of it a little bit more. Of like, what is it like to do that type of work, that sort of thing.
Definitely. I mean, I would love it. It'd be interesting.
Because that's just, I don't know. There's so many different angles with that in terms of, is there, is there almost a prejudice? It makes you wonder, like, is being handicapped somehow more taboo on there or not?
I don't know. I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, certain handicapped individuals can play off certain fetishes. Not necessarily. It's difficult to explain, right?
Yeah.
But
A fetish that I'm thinking of, and I mean this isn't a real one, but I'm thinking of in Freddy Got Fingered, how there was that chick that couldn't feel her legs, and she wanted him to hit her legs with that fucking stick.
mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a thing that's going on.
I mean, maybe it is, because if the person knows that they receive no pain from it whatsoever at all,
Yeah.
then they could theoretically use that as an advantage to attract people that might be into, let's say, a masochism fetish.
Well, there's also another fetish that I know of. Apparently,
As long as they're a good actor.
one of the requests that this one chick that I know of gets a lot is for feet. Apparently, that's like apparently they can do special requests, and there's a lot of people that want to see things with feet.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
foot
understand
fetish
that
is
at
a
all.
thing.
It's not.
It's
I
a
mean,
weird thing. It's a thing.
not to judge anybody, but if that's your thing, hey,
Yeah, yeah.
Not for me.
I mean, go get yourself a foot job if that's what you're into, I guess.
And another one,
Eh.
like, I know this is a bit dark. There is a certain word that starts with an R that some people fetishize about.
Yeah.
Certain people with motion disabilities could play as the faux victim, all consensual, of course, in such
Oh
fantasized.
yeah, especially in the handicap thing, the whole
Exactly.
the
You
whole that
see,
you're
there's a
vulnerable,
place.
the fact that you're vulnerable. You're like, oh,
Yes, there's a place for handicapped people in the adult film industry to cover certain
fetishes.
darker fetishes.
Hmm.
And if they are willing and understand what they are doing, why can't they? Nobody's actually being hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if a lot of them are making up for that market though. That's the well, I guess we'd have to find someone that is to know.
I mean, it's just an interesting thought process that a lot of people don't think about.
It's true.
There are places for us in just about any industry. You just have to find them and know where to look.
That's true. That's definitely true. Well, that's an interesting thought to think of. I never actually put that in. I never actually thought that might be a thing, but it seems like it would make sense.
Never threw that into your brain hole and chewed on it for a bit?
No, not really. I don't know. I guess it's because I just didn't think about it, but I don't know. It seems to be a fairly normal sort of concept. I mean, people paying for services. It's been around forever.
Sex working is the world's oldest industry.
Because I mean, if you think about it, I mean, is it really any worse than a strip club? Maybe in some cases, like what you could do on there, you can't, you know, there's certain things you couldn't do at a strip club that you could do there. I think it's definitely a lot more affordable option than a strip club, but I think I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that I'm kind of surprised that they makes up such a like they're able to make money off of this like they are because there's so much free porn. But I think it's the idea of the fact that this is a person that you've seen on stream. This is a person that you've been able to interact with in such a close way that then you get to see them naked or something. It becomes like a kind of an interesting concept,
It
and I
becomes
think
more personal.
yeah, it becomes more
Glitch mentioned
personal.
something about that earlier.
Mm-hmm. That personal interaction of OnlyFans is one reason why people like it so much.
Right. But I wonder if that can be if that type of fantasy could be an unhealthy thing for a person as well.
It can be.
Of
It
course,
very much can be.
Well, do you think OnlyFans content could be detrimental to people?
just as much as anything else can.
But is it
Yeah.
just as much risk as
I mean,
watching porn on another site that's subscription based? I
I
guess.
mean, for
Yeah.
years now, believe it or not, for years now, Japan has had an intimacy decline because of how busy they are and overworking themselves.
Oh yeah, I've heard about this.
We are facing a very similar situation thanks to the internet and due to our own social issues.
But don't they
But it's a
have?
very similar situation.
I heard somewhere that in Japan they have like these intimacy like clubs or something,
Cafes, yeah,
and
clubs, cafes.
they have
That's
them
what
for
some
women
people are
and for
going.
men.
Yeah, that's what some people are going to OnlyFans for, a virtual intimacy club.
Do you think it's because they don't want the baggage that comes with a true relationship? I mean, do you think that there's an allure for that?
That
Sure.
might be some. I don't think that is completely out of the realm of possibilities.
Okay,
Because
it's an exception, but it's not the rule.
yeah, because I mean, think about it. Think about how many times you um like I don't know. It's like you want to have those feelings of involvement, but then it's like like if you've ever been in love with someone and then the like say they hurt you really bad, that sort of experience that sucks. But it would be
Hmm.
nice to have that intimacy without that suckage part for some
Yeah, the
people.
intimacy without the risk.
That's what
Right.
OnlyFans is for.
And it's like having a virtual girlfriend or boyfriend on call that you pay by the message, or
So
maybe monthly. It just depends on how they work it out.
that could be a good that could also have maybe a good benefit for someone mentally as
Yeah.
opposed to how it could also be detrimental to them as well because it could become
Hmm.
an addictive thing where it's
It
like
can.
where it's like almost like I guess I don't know what would you compare it to something that you lose your money. I would guess gambling would be a comparison. Obviously they're
You can
two
do that to
different.
anything. Gambling, food, hobbies, anything.
Yeah, you can essentially overdo it. Some people would say you shouldn't do it at all, but I think I mean I would be selling a false bag of goods if I said that oh I don't look at porn. That'd be a fucking lie. I think a lot of people do. I would not be surprised. I don't know. I'm just not surprised by it. And I don't think it's something. I don't think it's something people should be appalled by.
No, it isn't. But would you be surprised if I said I relatively most of the time don't?
I'm actually not surprised by that because you just have a vibe that you're just not that. You just don't really do like. I don't know. It just seems like you're more focused on other things and Not that you
and
don't
we've
care.
talked about it
Yeah,
before.
we did
So
talk
Yeah,
about it
I
before.
I was
mean,
also not that surprised.
don't get me wrong. There's a couple of my audiobooks that I listen to that do have some very intense scenes at times described in the book.
Yeah, but I mean, you bring that up. Another interesting thing that I also was thinking about is that I have some friends that have played games that are hentai in nature, but you would think that, oh well, that's because they want to they want to jerk off to this, and it's like, no, it actually had nothing to do with that. There actually was a compelling written story to it. I can think of one that there's one that Blind Ryan actually talked about that is very heavy on the reading, that actually is a good story from what he told me, and it actually kind of rope you into it. So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I remember hearing about that one too.
just because something is labeled as porn doesn't mean that it necessarily can't be enjoyed in a non-pornographic way, though. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's another thing,
Just like OnlyFans.
right? And
Exactly.
like, because I mean, I did see a body painter. That's different. Some people, there might be one person that sees that as a sexual thing, but there might be another person that just sees the piece of art. So I think I think it's in the eye of the beholder. I think is what it comes down to, really. If porn is art or not, or if what they're doing. I mean, people could consider cooking art. Some people would say no, it's just for eating. But I don't know. There's a side that's art to that. I think there can be a side to art with anything, really. I just think it depends on how it is presented. So,
I think it's a good place to wrap things up with the final thought of beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Mm-hmm.
and
I think so too, because I got these burgers and these fries over here that are just waiting for me to eat them.
I mean, I think that's art. Why don't you show us that beautiful art?
Well,
The beautiful burger, or someone could give me a burger.
I'd love to give you a burger, but well, I haven't figured out the scientific tricks behind long range matter transportation.
Right,
well,
right.
once you do, let us know. So
Well, anyways, guys,
on
we
that,
are. Oh, go ahead, Ricky. Sorry.
I'll just say we are Wheel Life Problems, and thank you for those tuning in. Be sure to join our Discord if you want to have a chat with us.
Indeed.
Which
Thanks
is it.
again. Remember,
Thanks for
keep it
joining
wheel.
us. Keep it wheel, guys.
Yep.